boys and girls. Let's have some fun and draw together. Maybe your parents would even like to join in, or anyone in your household is really welcome. This project is recommended for third graders today. Today we will be drawing a flower. I like to put a bee on it. I think we will also do a bee. Maybe you don't want it on your flower. Maybe you want it next to it. Maybe you don't want a flower in a pot. You want it outside. But we will do a flower together and a bee. And for this project, all you'll need is really pencil and maybe an eraser and a couple of pieces of paper. And of course, maybe a scrap piece of paper for our shapes. And afterwards, when we're done, if you'd like to use some crayons or anything else you have around the house to color in, you're more than welcome to. If you don't want to color it in, that's also fine. So let's first do our shapes together. Remember, let's continue our good habits, sitting up straight, holding our paper with one hand and the other hand draws. Today I'm going to draw with my Sharpie because you'll be able to see better. All right, let's do our shapes together. First shape is a circle, anywhere on your scrap piece of paper. Next to that, a circle. I'm going to color it all the way in, so we'll refer to that as a dot. Next to that, horizontal line. Can we all repeat that together? Horizontal line. Very good. The next line, maybe you remember, vertical. Let's all say vertical together. Good. Then we have another line, diagonal. You say diagonal, right there. Then we have our half circles. A U, our upside down U, a rainbow, a C, and a backward C. Then we have V's. Regular V, an upside down V, looks like a capital A without the crossbar, sideways V's. Then we have the slightly curved line. It's not as bent as our upside down U, and it's not as straight as our straight line, so we call it a slightly curved line. Then we have our lazy S. Our lazy S laying down is a hill and a valley. And then I believe we've added in spirals, which I know you've been enjoying, maybe making a snail out of it. So those are our shapes today. After you're done with that, get another piece of paper. You decide which way your paper is going to go. Mine is vertically, or the tall way, but you decide. You're also going to decide, remember your composition. Do I want one big flower? Do I want many flowers? Are my flowers inside? Are my flowers outside? You're going to tell a story, and you have to start thinking about that story. So you're going to tell a story where your flowers are located. I would like to put mine outside because I like honeybees. You all remember that? So we're going to put some honeybees in there for Earth Day. So the first thing I'm going to start with, I'm going to make a nice big flower. Now remember, is this the only flower you can draw? Of course not. But this is an easy flower to draw, and remember, I always like to make it easy for you. So if you'd like to follow along and make this particular flower, I'm going to start with a nice big circle in the middle. Okay? Next thing I'm going to do is start making the petals. First one, slightly curved line up, another slightly curved line up. Now I could start putting these petals behind each other, but I'm going to put them just next to each other so I can do some back flowers too. So I'm going to start right next to it, slightly curved line up, and another slightly curved line up. I've left a space there so I can come back and do these. I'm going to continue all the way around my circle. Now, boys and girls, if it makes it easier for you to turn your paper as you're drawing, that's a great idea. 2 more in there. All right, so there's my flower, start of a flower. Like I said, I'm going to even go in the middle of these 2 petals. Slightly curved line, slightly curved line. You can do it in another shape. Maybe you just want to do U's. However you want to do it. It's your flower. Make it how you want it. Of course, we need a stem. So we need 1 line and then another line because our stem needs to be thicker. Okay. So even though mine is in a pot, I'm still outdoors in this pot. And I can show that by putting a sun and other things like that. So even though it's in a pot, I don't want you to think it has to be indoors. Okay, so wherever you want this flower, it can be. There is the stem. I'm going to do some leaves, a slightly curved line. Come back to my stem, another slightly curved line. I'm going to go ahead and put the veins in. So a line or curved lines for those. You decide how many leaves you'd like in your picture. Remember, everybody's picture is different. I'll put one down here. Make my stem just a little longer. All right. So I did tell you that we were going to work on a honeybee also. Remember, our bee comes in 3 parts. So remember, I said you could put your honeybee anywhere you'd like. I'd like to put it in the middle, so it's going to be kind of small, but that's okay. I'm going to start with its head. Remember, bees have 3 different parts. The head is the first one. I'm going to make a little circle for my head. The next part of the bee is called the thorax. I'm going to do 2 slightly curved lines for my thorax. And the last is the abdomen. So now I'm going to make another slightly curved line, but I'm now going to close this one up. The bottom one that I just made, or the last, that's where it has his slightly curved lines to make the bee look like the bee. The wings always come out of the thorax right here, and the eyes and the come out of the head. So we'll go back to the head and do some eyes. You decide what kind of eyes you want to do, if you want to make them really big, really small. And then, as I said, the wings come out of the thorax. So you can do them any way. I'm going to slant up for my wing to start. Here I slanted down, doesn't matter. And then I'm going to make little U's to come back to about there, and then make a line for the rest of it. So again, I'll start it over here. I'm going to go up with this one, little U's for the edges of the wings, and then finally one long one to come back to the thorax. Okay? And then, if you'd want antennae, however you want to do those, you can do those. Now remember, let's remember, how many legs does a bee have? That's correct. 3 on one side and 3 on the other. But some might be blocked from your wings. So if you don't want to draw all of them, it is okay. I'm getting 2 over there. I could probably stick another one down here, but it might look a little silly. So I'm going to be okay with just showing 2. The other one's hiding behind the leaf. Not leaf. The wings. All right, boys and girls. I'm going to make some more bees because remember, I really love bees and they're very important. And it's Earth Day coming up. So let's do another one. The head, you can make them any way you want. You know this. But I'm going to do another one the same way just in case you didn't catch this one. First, I'm going to do the head. Okay? Then I'm going to do 2 little slightly lines for its thorax, and then end with 2 other slightly curved lines, but close that in. That's where my Curved lines go to show that it's a bee. Remember where my wings come out of? Maybe this one I'm going to do my wings differently, and I'll angle it down. Eyes in the head, remember? And if you want to show his little stinger, you can right there too. All right, so we have a couple of bees. I'm going to let you embellish or keep going on in the background. We will talk about the pot before we sign off, though. Remember, if you want to make it look realistic, the flower is going into the ground or into the pot. We're going to make a slightly curved line right under the end of the stem. And then I'm going to bring my slightly curved line coming in the other direction. But when I run into my stem, I'm not going to draw on top of my stem. I'm going to say, excuse me, because that's a polite thing when we hit something. And continue it over here. And now I have the inside of the pot. Makes it look very realistic that it's going in something. And now the end of the pot, or the sides of the pot, you may draw any way you want. Whether it's slightly curved lines, whether it's lazy S's, however you want it to be is fine. And then, of course, as I said, if yours is outdoors, you're going to maybe do the sun, maybe some birds, maybe some other things. Whatever you do, the important thing is have some fun, enjoy drawing, and I hope to see you next time. Be safe. Talk to you soon.